What's good, everybody? It is time for episode 3, yep, 3 of our flashlight shoes building series. So as you can see, I have the voice control modules in, this one right here and the other one right here. I'm going to start by just testing on an Arduino Uno, but obviously we're going to be using Arduino Nanos for the actual shoe because good luck fitting this thing in a shoe. But in any event, as you can see, this is the V3 voice control module, and I have the Groove speech recognizer module over here as well. And the V3 voice control module actually comes with this attachable mic here. I originally thought that this little part in the center, if you can see it, I don't know if you can see that, but the little part in the center, I thought that was the mic, but it's some sort of plastic covering that covers the electronics or something. So I'm not exactly sure what that is, but since that's not the mic, that means that a mic needs to be attached to this. I tested with this mic just to see how it would fit in the shoe. So I literally just stuck it in the shoe and put my foot in with it connected to this just to see how it felt. And this does fit, like it fits in the shoe. It's not the best fit, but it works for our purposes at least. If I were to go a little bit further and actually try to make the shoes as comfortable as possible and make it a little bit more, ergonomic and less noticeable, then I would use a much smaller mic. I would get just a different mic to attach to this. So it's not a huge deal. But in any event, now that we have these voice control modules, we can start talking about the code. So I will go into building the code for the flashlight shoes. And after the code is built, we'll finally be able to work on the final build, which should be next episode. So look forward to that, everybody. But for today, let's get into the code. Okay, let us begin. So looking at the V3 voice recognition module, we can see that we have 80 commands that we're able to do here, 80 voice commands. And we can group multiple groups of up to 7, I think it is. Yep, 7 commands are effective at the same time. So let's get into the code here. So they have instructions in the manual to get us started. So we can see that we need to use the Arduino. Well, that's at least their suggestion. The Arduino Uno is recommended. We're going to be using the Nano, but to test, we'll start with the Uno. So we'll test it all out to make sure that it works with the Uno, and then we should be able to just port that over to the Nano, because the Nano should be pretty similar. All we're waiting on for the Nano is the programming cable. We already have the boards here. So, the hardware setup here, we already mentioned this in the wiring video, so you can go back to the last video to watch that if you want to see how the wiring is going to work out. But that's all this right here. So then we can download the zip file. I've already downloaded it off screen, so we'll be able to get right into it. And then using it, extract all that stuff, and then we can train. So the train works by, I open up this sample training file. This is the code, and I will show this to you guys. But there's really nothing special I need to do with this as far as setting it up. I'm not going to change the code in this one at all. This is what I use to train the voice recognition module. That way it knows what the codes are. So, as you can see, I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to do this. So I need to choose the right serial port for the Arduino board. I need to upload the code to the Arduino, and I need to open up the serial monitor and set the baud rate to 115200. And send with either new line or both NL and CR, as you can see down here. And then I can send the command settings, just to make sure everything is working. And then I'll be able to actually start training it. So I will show you guys all of this stuff when I go onto the code page in a second. And then for controlling the LED, they have a control LED sample code that was also in that folder that I downloaded. And again, I'm only going to need to make a couple of small changes to this. But for the most part, I should just be able to use it as is. And I just have to make sure to train the voice commands here and here. So let me go over to the code now. Yeah, by the way, guys, just ignore my crap mic quality. I only get like 2 views a video. So all 2 of you watching, thank you. But until I get more people, I'm not buying a good mic. I'm only kind of joking. Yeah. Anyway, this is the VR sample train code right here. So this is the code that you use to train the VR module. with your voice commands. Again, that's kind of already detailed in the user manual. I'm not going to bore you guys with the details, but you just need to go over to the serial monitor up here and type in a few lines, and then you're able to just speak your voice commands. You have to speak each one twice, and then it will record your voice command. But let's go over into the other tab, which has the actual code for controlling the LED. So this is it right here, VR control LED. So you can see we include the soft-serial.h, the voice recognition VR.h. That's all included with the zip file that the manufacturer provides. We set my VR to 2 and 3. That's for our transmit and receive, our pins 2 and 3 on the Arduino. Technically, you can use any pins, but they suggest 2 and 3. There's no reason not to leave it as 2 and 3, frankly. And yeah, you have your records, so 7. Remember, because you can save 7 voice commands at any given time. Have LED set to 13 right now, so that's pin 13. That's also the default LED pin for the Arduino for its onboard LED. And for the on record, we have our voice command 0 loaded and our voice command 7 loaded. So we call it on record and off record, respectively. And then we get down into the code here, and you can see skimming through all this. And down here, for our case on record, you're able to, the LED will go high. For a case off record, the LED will go low. You can look through all this extra details here for the rest of the code if you want to download it yourself from the manufacturer's website. But basically, it just prints a lot of stuff to the serial monitor. That way you can actually just see what's going on. So it'll print words to the serial monitor. Actually, I might as well show that. So as you can see in the serial monitor, when you open it up, you have these messages here. So that's part of what I was talking about when I said the serial print line. It prints messages to the serial monitor here. And then we have both NL and CL and 115/200 baud rate, because that's what they said to do. And I've already loaded the code onto the Arduino, so this is what comes up here. And then what we're able to do is we're able to speak the voice commands, which this one is a little finicky, so sometimes it takes a few tries. The other one seems to be better. We'll get into that in a second, because part of the reason for doing 2 of them was to see which one is better. But still, I mean, this one works fine, but I think the cheaper one, actually, the other one was cheaper. I think that one would be better for our purposes. But let me just show you here. Hopefully it doesn't take a bunch of tries. On. There it goes. Only took 1 try. So the LED is actually on right now on the actual thing. And then if I say off, it turned off. There we go. Only took 1 try. So sometimes it works really well, and other times I'll have to keep saying it over and over again before it works. I'll actually show you guys videoly. That's not a word, but I'll show you guys it working in just a sec after I go through the other code. But yeah, that's really all there is to it here. So you can see it prints VR index 0 and VR index 1, and you see record number 0 and record number 7, which is what I set those to in the code as I showed you before, and then signature on and signature off. So not bad. It works decently well. But let's get into the other one. I am personally partial to the other one right now. Those things might change once I actually put them in the shoe. But the one that works better in this environment might work a whole lot worse in the shoe. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So for the GRU speech recognition module, there's actually a lot less instruction, but that's because there's a lot less needed, frankly. They give you this basic wiring diagram, which is extremely easy to do. That's why I never had to make another wiring diagram for this one. Again, go back to the last episode if you want to see me making the wiring diagrams. But the code, they have basic code, lights plus random LEDs, and 2WD robot code. All I decided to go with was I didn't go with the basic. I went with the lights plus random LEDs, and then I just trimmed it down to only what I need. So I'll go to that in just a sec. But as you can see, there's really nothing else. They don't tell you very much. They give you a little bit of information here, but honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll see in a sec. Let me go over to that. So as you can see here with the light on off Arduino code, this is for the groove speech recognition module. And you see here, again, pins 2 and 3, RxTX, same as the other one, nothing special there. Set the light to 13 for now, just because that's also the onboard Arduino light. That's what the pin is that's the pin is connected to. So I just decided to leave it at that. I can still connect that to another LED as well, just to show it shining on both of them if I want, but it was just simpler to leave it like that. And then down here you can see just a list of all the voice commands. These aren't actually really doing much right now. It's more so I can see what they all are. And then serial setup, so serial begin 9600, 9600, that's just the baud rate and everything. So instead of that much bigger baud rate than the other one, this one has just the normal 9600 baud rate, which from my experience at least is a lot more standard. And then we set the light to output. Remember, light is pin 13, so we set that to be an output. That way, when we speak our voice commands, the Arduino actually recognizes it as an output. And then we have void loop, in command, soft serial available. And then down here, if command equals 1, so we have command equals soft serial read, right? So the number of the command is stored. Command equals 1, which as you can see up here is turn on the light. So if you say turn on the light, then it will digital write the light to high. And then if you say turn off the light, which is command 2, because it's the second one on the list, then it will digital write the light to low. So these directly correspond to just the number on the list that this is. So like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. And when you hook it up, you can use it pretty much right away after you download it. So let me show you guys both of these voice recognition modules working in the flesh, so to speak. Even though, obviously, it's not in the flesh for you guys, because you're watching it on the video. I'ma stop. Let's get into that. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my Arduino Uno, and connected to it right now, I have the V3 voice recognition module with the mic here. And you actually see this LED blinking. That's part of it right there. But the onboard Arduino light is right here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that turn on, but I do have 2 wires right here that I can, right here, that I can connect to this LED. This is one of the dimmer LEDs, but it should still actually be decently bright. I got 2 types of LEDs. Honestly, I'll probably put 2 LEDs in each shoe to make sure that I have maximum brightness, but that should be good there. And then this one right here is the groove speech recognition module. Again, these things are tiny. Like, look at that. These will fit in the shoe nicely. And it actually has just this ribbon cable connection that you can put in. So that pops right out. And you can just slide that in. So that makes it really easy to hook this one up. But even the V3 module, I just stuck the... You can't even see it from that angle, really. I literally just stuck the pins from the Arduino into it. I would solder these. I will solder these once I actually go to put it in the shoe. But for now, this works. So this wasn't really that hard to set up either. But let's show the V3 recognition module working first. So I should just be able to say on to the mic. Hold on. That didn't work. There we go. When I said hold on, the on and hold on actually turned it on. So for some reason, it's a little finicky for this one. So like I said before, I'm leaning towards the groove. I also, well, you'll see in a second. But for this one, when I turn it on, there we go. You see that light turning on now? And then if I say off, you see, it's finicky sometimes. Off. There it goes. You see? So it works. Like, this one isn't terrible, but it's kind of finicky when there's background noise playing. Like, I just had a video playing on my laptop and I tried using it just to see how the background noise would affect it. It gets super confused. So with that thought in mind, I'm leaning towards the groove. But in the next video, when I actually go to build the shoe and we're testing everything out, we'll be able to see for sure which one works better. Because obviously the big difference between the two is that for this one, you can actually record your own voice commands, which is pretty nice. But for our purposes, we don't really need to be able to control our own voice command, like record our own voice commands. So, we'll see. On. off, on, on, off. So it's not terrible. So let me hook up the other one here, and I'll actually show you guys me hooking it up. Why not? It's not like it takes super long. So I just pop that one out, and then it has all the same connections really. So I just make sure to bring the orange to red because I didn't have a red one. So orange to red, black to black, and let's see, yellow to yellow and white to white. So I will throw white to white and yellow to yellow. Look at that, electrical engineering at its finest. It's so simple. Oh geez, this yellow one is. Yeah. Okay, it's in. It's in. So now that this one is hooked up, nice and easy, right? I just need to download the code here. You guys can't see me downloading the code, but whatever. Let me just download that real quick. Or, well, technically the word is upload for Arduino. So just give that a second, and it is uploaded. So with this sucker right here, to initialize it, you need to say, "Hi cell, turn on the light." And the light is on now. But here, let me. There, you see? So it's on right now. So you need to say "Hi cell" to initialize it. So, "Hi cell, turn off the light." And now the light is off. So this one is a lot less finicky. It actually works a lot better. I tried going like all the way across the room, like 8 feet away, to see if it still worked, and it still worked fine. I tried it with ambient noise, and it still worked fine. So honestly, this one seems like it's going to be the one. I was worried that this one would not be best because it's cheaper. But honestly, the fact that it's cheaper mostly has to do with the fact that it only has like 13 pre-recorded voice commands. That's the whole reason why it's cheaper. Because as far as the quality of the actual speech recognition of it, it's solid. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's only like $4 cheaper. It's not like it's a huge price difference. But it's also a little bit smaller as well, though it does have this stuff kind of sticking out. So that stuff will be pointed like towards the outside of the shoe, and not towards your foot, because if this was pointed towards your foot, that would get very annoying very fast. But the actual footprint of it, if I can show you guys here, it's smaller. Like, this one is much more flat, which actually would fit our purposes more, but, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? So this one, at least it has a smaller footprint. So all things considered, the code is working pretty well. So with that, I'm not going to show you guys my face, whatever. Have a good day, because that is it for the code video, and next we will finally be able to start building the shoe, because everything else is done now. So with that one, have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.